Okay, Manning to Denver. Tebow is out and stuck in a bad situation. If I'm Denver, or any team really for that matter, I'm taking Peyton Manning. He is one of my all-time favorite quarterbacks. I think one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game, so that is not my issue. My problem is that Denver was going to go with the new quarterback no matter what. No matter what. And the self-proclaimed experts of the NFL, in the media, agree with this. Are you kidding me? Here's my big question. When is football not about winning? When is football not about raking in cash for the team? John Elway, the Denver Broncos, and all the experts in the media want to throw away a guy that won games, and that packed the stadium, that was amazingly popular and still is. The Broncos couldn't win before him. The Broncos had trouble filling their stadium before him, and they did both with him. So why do they continue to say he can't keep this up? He can't keep this up. That's what I hear all the time. And why is that? Why can't he keep this up? Let's look at the track record for the punditry. First off, they said that he would not be a first-round pick. Of course, they were wrong. He was picked in the first round. Then they said that he could not function as an NFL quarterback in an NFL-style offense. They were wrong. He has successfully managed all aspects of the game on offense. He has more passing TDs than Sam Bradford. Bradford played a full 16 games. Of course, Tebow did not. He has more passing TDs than Kevin Kolb. Almost similar number of games as him. He has one less passing TD than Christian Ponder, Carson Palmer, and Jay Cutler in about the same number of games. This plus, he has a better QB rating than five quarterbacks that are about to be handed a starting position in 2012. He's within a few points of Mark Sanchez and Matt Castle, who both have better receivers. All of this plus 660 yards rushing and 6 TDs on the ground, just shy of Cam Newton. Tebow had fewer attempts, and yet Cam Newton has generated a lot of excitement, and people are considering him a great young QB. The experts seem to think their ancient views of what makes a good QB will always apply. Really? Then why did they give Matt Leinart, Sam Bradford, Jake Locker, and a host of other big-name recent busts such a high rating? The league changes. It constantly changes. And it is changed by players and coaches who think differently, who play differently, and are successful when they think differently and play differently. And then everybody wants to follow along and start doing what they're doing, and now a new standard is created and a whole new prototype quarterback for the NFL comes into being. I think the only way to judge a solid NFL QB is if he is winning. And if he is winning, he is a solid quarterback. As soon as he starts losing, as we all know, players start to get questioned. Their abilities, their greatness starts to come into question. That is the standard by which we should judge Tim Tebow. And right now, all you can say is he is a promising young quarterback and nothing less. Disagree? Have an opinion? Shoot it to me. Mike at GameDayBattle.com. Mike at GameDayBattle.com. I'm out.
I'll get back to the Browns real quick. I really think that they just dropped the ball, big time. You know, we were talking about a splash. We had all these guys on lists that they wanted to go after, and, they didn't even throw a stone. This was a tough shirt to put on today. I've been saying that all day, but I'm still wearing it because I'm still a naive Browns fan at heart, and I feel like maybe this franchise can turn around, but deep down I see other things like an owner who cares more about his soccer team than he does about his football team, and we sell out seats every year. Why should he spend more money and put himself farther in the red if at the end of the year he's still going to be right where he was, selling out every home game of the year? The only way the Browns are going to stop this fucking nonsense is the fans are going to have to boycott, and people aren't going to do that because football means so much to the city of Cleveland. It's a lifestyle for people who go down there and tailgate and put all their money and all that bullshit that means nothing in real life. It just shows your love of the game for football. And people want to say that the Browns have the most historic fans in the franchise, and it's almost like we wear that on our sleeve, but it's also like they don't have to give us anything because we're going to be happy with the scraps and the bullshit that they feed us all the time. I understand not going out there and spend buku monies and going out there and spending $100 million on Mario Williams. But there was a lot of talent in this free agent market, and they didn't go after any of it. Now, I'm not even offensive playmakers. Yeah, you don't want to go pay those big contracts. we need line help. Like we got the worst offensive line in football. We couldn't go out there and sign Ben Grubbs or Robert Gallery or any of these talented, proven offensive line starters, so at least these kids that we bring in the draft will at least have some protection and some time to do anything.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, you go through the draft and you try to study these guys and you draft the best kids that you can based on, what you see and your scouts and all that stuff. But the one thing that's easier than that is going out and finding a deal, a guy that's a proven player that you can plug and play and get him at a value price. We need a wide receiver. Laurent Robinson signs with Jacksonville for $2.5 million a year. Calvin Johnson's making $20 million a year. To be able to get a guy like that for only $2.5 million, you got to seize these opportunities, and it's disgusting. And it's just, I'm drowned in bullshit by the Browns. Mike Holmgren won't come on Cleveland radio, but he's off in Seattle talking to Seattle on Seattle radio about the state of the Cleveland Browns franchise. Face up and come talk to these fans and tell us what the hell's going on, because people are fed up and they're sick of it, and people are ready to throw in their Browns hats and get rid of all their Browns bullshit because they're tired of losing. And if the talent's out there, then go get it and try to spend some money and try to bring a winner to this city. We've been waiting too damn long. Sorry.
Kudos.
Sick of it, man.
Kudos.
Everything he said is right. We never go after anybody, and the city's tired of it. We go down there, we spend buku bucks on season tickets, even tickets in general. We paid $20 to go down in the Muni lot to go park and drink beer out of a cup because, we can't drink it out of a can for some odd reason. And they're making dumbass money off this parking. And even if you want the spot next to you, even though it's not a car there, you have to pay for that spot. So every spot has to be paid for, $20 a piece. It's just ridiculous. You go to the game, you're paying $8 a beer, and then you go to watch some stupid ass shit on the field. Like, come on, week in and week out. It's nothing. Nothing ever changes here. It's always some quarterback controversy. It's always some type of controversy here.
I mean, look. I'm sorry to cut you off. Just look at our offense right now. Look where we are. We've got Colt McCoy, the same receiving core that we had last year. A worse line. We cut Eric Steinbach, the guy who was our saving grace that we want to see come back. Now, I understand the other side of that coin is they might try to sign him to a smaller deal. Steinbach's not totally out of the picture yet. I really hope that they save that. But we lost our starting running back. I mean, we're so back to square one right now that it's disgusting.
All right, so the Browns did absolutely nothing.
Nothing
Nothing at all in free agency. Wait, I take that back.
Oh.
We got a backup defensive end.
You got a Frostee Rucker
from Cincinnati.
Six string Frostee Rucker.
Yay.
How much do we pay Frostee?
A lot. 5-year contract, and let me just give everybody a little bit of perspective. I've watched Frostee Rucker since his very first. I watched him get drafted. I watched his very first NFL game, and his first 2 years were pathetic. He was about to get cut at the beginning of the third year, and he was then sort of given a little bit of a reprieve because he came in early, he was working out, he was really focused, talking to the media saying, I know I'm about to get cut, and I'm going to do whatever it takes not to. So they give him another chance. He had a decent year. He's become a worker, and he's become somewhat productive. Is he the answer? I don't think so. He had a good year last year, and there's no doubt about that. And if he continues that, then I say he's a good pickup. But the reality is, he had a good year, and he had a good year, as you said, a sixth string. He's a backup guy. They bring him in to defend against the run, so he's got good numbers against the run because that's what he does. So let's not get excited about this, as nobody was here.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that.
Let's not get excited about 7 sacks in 4 years.
Yeah, but what I've heard on a lot of talk radio was that this is a good pickup and this is great. We've kind of solidified the defensive line, and these are guys that are looking at some stats from last year and getting kind of excited, and there's no reason to. But that's what we've done. We've also cut Steinbach. We've also passed up on everybody.
Let Hillis go.
Which
I'm actually glad that chapter's finally over.
He was a head case. Go
ahead. Bye-bye, Peyton.
Yeah, and but if we had him right now, we wouldn't have to rely on Bad Legs Hardesty, which we might have to this season.
We're rolling Ogbanaya and Hardesty, 1 and 2 punch right there, man. Get ready for it.
Did we even try for Flynn? I don't think we even made an effort.
Did we try for anybody?
Actually, we did. We did offer a contract.
He didn't want to come here.
Did we?
He didn't want to come here.
Why? Because it's a crappy team run in a horrible way.
He wanted to go somewhere where he could be a contender.
You know, I've been hearing that a lot, man. People said they don't want to go to Miami. People don't want to go to Miami to play. I mean, whatever. Mario Williams went to Buffalo.
Buffalo was a contender last year. They played good.
Yeah, the first 4 games of the season, and then they lost 7 in a row.
You know, Fitzpatrick over there, they got a decent quarterback.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't view Buffalo as a top 10, top 15 franchise. Guys like Lauren Robinson going to Jacksonville. You know, you want to put Jacksonville on a level with us? I'd say we're about there, maybe a little bit ahead. Except what? It's not as sunny here. Yeah. That's the closing deal on that.
I just feel like everybody we went after.
No one
was just so far fetched. Like we couldn't even go at. Why would we even try if we know we're not going to land? Like Matt Flynn, and then Mario Williams.
Why was Matt Flynn out of our league? Matt Flynn has one good game. He's a backup quarterback.
Well, that's like the whole
and
Kevin Cobb story as well.
Well, but he has the opportunity to come here. We would pay him well. They had $20 million left in the cap, and they could have set him up with a 5-year contract, an 8-year contract, a 9. I mean, something like that, where he would have been in a good position with a guy who has been known to win. It's not the worst case in the scenario for a guy like that. Now, Peyton Manning's not going to come here because he's not going to take commands from Pat Shurmur.
Tough.
It is. We've got $20 million in cap space. You mentioned, the Steelers not being able to sign Wallace properly. And they've had to cut a lot of people. You know why? Because they were over cap, and they've been pushing the limits, and that's what you have to do. And I'm not saying it's always a good thing, because you're sometimes going to find yourself in a situation where you can't re-sign your star because you can't afford him. And I understand that that's what they want to avoid. But when you have so many holes, you can't just expect or hope that next year those guys that weren't doing so well, now they're going to get better. Now they're learning from us. You just can't do that.